Hello, comrades. Breana here. Welcome to another episode of Signs of Breana. Signs of Breana is a collection of musings, dreams, and dialogues documenting one person's path towards elderhood, liberation, and a life worth dreaming.
Hello, comrades. This is Breana of Signs of Breana. And I want to offer a little bit of reflection about my path getting to chemistry and getting to participate in that lovely project. And I think that what comes to my mind is to just wax a little bit about transness, about aging, about the body changing. And so in order to be on the show, you had to complete this form. And the form had different questions about who do you like to date, and like what is your dating orientation? Are you single? Are you in a relationship? There were some other options, and you had to record yourself. You also had to talk about like why should you be on this show, and did you want to be a contestant or did you want to be the prize date? The Leo in me was like, it's the prize date. That's the option I'm interested in. So I checked that box, and like I talked about the humans that I'm attracted to. I don't quite remember what I was saying. I think I did say that I like when people are good at stuff. And so interesting, like the choices I made. And I mean, all of those humans are good at things, but there was a very clear and direct display of a talent, and I was like, sing me a song. But before the show, in the process of trying to get there, I had to create this video and speak to the camera and share a little bit about myself and what I bring to the show. And I had been going through this like really big acne flare and caring for my skin after going on testosterone, but also I'll be 38 this year. And I think just like the hormone changes that are inherent at this time of life, like it's been a lot of change. And one of the things that I pride myself on is like taking excellent care of myself. And I think in some ways I've been like, fuck, like, you know, I'm doing my best, I'm cleansing my skin, I'm like trying new things on occasion, and like trying to be mindful of my diet and like getting enough hydration. So I can, care for my skin from the inside out. But I had like gotten my face and my neck threaded, and I hadn't done that in a long time. Like the thing about being trans and being non-binary is like I've had so many evolutions of like what feels good and what feels affirming. And sometimes that can change in a week, but other times it can change in like over like half a year. And so this iteration I think I've been experiencing for like the last couple of months. But before this, I didn't have eyebrows. I wasn't going to get threaded, and my whole head was shaved. I would bick it down to the skin. And so I was like very stark. So like caring for the hairs on my face is like kind of a new thing. Anyways, my body hated it, and I got folliculitis, which this is not a skincare blog. I don't know shit about fuck. Don't quote me. But what I experienced was like, it's like having pimples, but they don't pop. And so I just had all of these like kind of like wounds on my face. And I felt really self-conscious about it. And so even to film myself talking to the camera and share it with the Comfrey team, I was like, you know, like just really having a hard time. And I had to juice myself up. I had to be like, okay, this is an experiment. We are practicing putting ourselves out there, and it's really uncomfortable. It's hard to be seen. And I think so much of there's this way where like we do celebrate our trans ancestors, and I think there's an effort and a initiative, there's like movement to show trans folks in all aspects and moments of their life. And there's a preoccupation within the queer community, maybe it's the capital G community in particular, but not only, around like body and how we look. And like, I think that I'm not impervious. Is that did I use it right? Y'all will let me know, I'm sure. I'm not impervious to like that tenderness when I'm like, oh, okay, like I'm sharing myself, and like, you know, T changed my body completely. My face looked different. It was like more oval and like kind of thinner, and like I gained weight, and like I'm literally a bigger person now than I was before I went on T. And in some ways that feels so good, because I like, you know, I've been learning how to power lift and how to like build my body, and like, I don't know, there's this way that I practice strength more now than I did when, you know, my body is naturally like really high in estrogen. So I've had like terribly painful menstrual cycles, like passing out, vomiting, like unable to work, unable, when I was younger, like I got my period when I was 13, unable to go to school. And it has been like incredibly disabling and debilitating, like major, like big, intense, like PMDD, and yeah, all of those things have been so much a part of my experience. And not that it's like 0% now, but I do dermal T and I do one pump every day. I do one pump most days. I really try to do it every day, but some days I just don't find it. I'll like not see it on my list of various condiments, creams, and potions to like slather on my body, but we try our best. I think it's been really sweet to have like naturally so much estrogen and find myself just a little bit more neutral. And there was a, you know, 20-year period of my life where menstruating was debilitating and like 100% dysphoric, like almost I have to leave my body. This is so hard to sit with. And it doesn't feel that hard now. You know, maybe it's a 4 out of 10 hard. And I feel a lot of gratitude for that. But it's all imperfect, and it's all an experiment, right? Like, I got top surgery almost 2 years ago exactly. I got it in April 2024. And I love my chest, and I just feel so grateful to be able, like, just a t-shirt on the body, it's like revelatory. But going through that experience was not without its bumps, right? I had a surgeon who offered gender care, but not gender affirming care. She was like this older white lady. I was one of the few top surgeries that she did. And she, in terms of like precision, the cuts, the wound care, like she 100% delivered what I was interested in. Was she able to use my pronouns? No. Did she like seem sort of inconvenienced by me? Yes. Did she, like, when I went in for a revision, I was like, hey, you know, I would like this to lay more flatly, or like, is it possible to like adjust a few things? She told me that if I lost some weight, it would probably be different. And that sucked. It was really painful, and I'm so grateful that I have like people who love me who are like, F that, you know? And also, then I had to live in my still 37-year-old body that's recovering, I have recovered from surgery, but like, when is that done? I definitely the first 6 months afterwards were like big. And even now, I am a pole dancer, and like, I don't have sensation in this zone in the way that I used to. So being able to hold the pole, being able to like feel my body against this instrument is something I'm still learning and getting to know. Getting to know how I enjoy adorning myself, like what feels good. And my chosen baby is Lightweight, my stylist, and also like sources a lot of vintage clothes for me because I was gonna say because I'm spoiled, but actually I think it's because we love each other, and it's just like I'm just so grateful. But we were like going through my closet, and I was pulling pieces out, and I was like, these don't feel like me, like they're too feminine. And I had this moment where I was with the body worker, and they had a book of women's symbols. And I opened the book of women's symbols, and the one that I turned to was androgen, like androgyny. And that is me. And I think it's, living a life that is androgynous at different points has invisibilized me in ways that were really positive, like I'm not being watched or paid attention to. And in other moments, made it invisible in a way that like I really wasn't comfortable or ready for, so that I would like high femme it the fuck up. And I'm grateful to find, what is center now? What is authentic to me today? And I just think I want to be direct about how I am so grateful for the care that I've received. I'm grateful that I can access testosterone and the ways that it has changed my body. And some of the ways that it has changed have been really challenging to live with. And one of the things that my lovely, what are they to me? Gynecologist? Shared as we were talking about testosterone and like HRT and what's going to happen, what could happen, was like that some of the changes to your body are temporary. If I went off testosterone, they would change. Some of them are not. Like if I lost my hair, the hair on my head, it would not grow back. And like if hair grew on other parts of my body that it hadn't previously, that it could stay there. And also like weight gain around the middle of the body and different stuff. I don't remember exactly the list, but I think the beautiful thing about being trans more broadly is this like fearless commitment to authentically being yourself. And when you go on HRT and you imbibe or place or like change one's body with a medicine, it is an experiment, but it is also, like you get a spectrum of experience. So like the way that my body changed in terms of weight, I have like begun to enjoy now, but I grew up anorexic, I grew up bulimic. I was a contemporary and classically trained dancer, and like I was in that world where you're like looking in the mirror and you're critiquing every part of your body, your form, how you carry yourself all the time. And I most especially was raised in like a performance art community. So I went to Oakland School for the Arts, and kind of the adage that we were reared with was like, you are always representing the dance department, how you carry yourself, how you adorn yourself. And I think some ways that was like very beautiful. And in others it was, it kind of like can create this self-surveillance that has been challenging for me to put down. And so I keep working on it and I talk about it. You know, when I had that experience with my surgeon, that was just about a week ago. And I just keep telling the people that I love, like, this happened and I'm taking care of myself. I'm saying that it happened. I'm eating. But there's like small ways where those comments kind of get stuck, right? Where I can feel the pressure of my clothing against my body, and I make a different story about it. And so I wish for more ease for myself and like all folks who are trying to live peacefully and in harmony with their meat suits. It is not simple, and I'm so grateful that I was able to like see the acne and like feel the discomfort of like my clothing on my body and like, you know, feel a little self-conscious and like still make a video and put myself out there, because at the same time as it is deeply uncomfortable to be seen, I know there's also like nothing that I want more. You know, I just want to be able to share my art and my work and my personality and my stories, you know, but there's ways that like, I don't know, am I gonna quote RuPaul, you know, like the inner saboteur, but like also, that just felt like ash in my mouth. I mean, shut out, but also, you know, maybe not the best example I could pull from. Because I don't think it's just the self. It's also, it's so not the self. It's so society. And the people that are close to us, right? Like sometimes the people closest to us can say the most like wretched shit. So yeah, I guess my final word is just, I'm really grateful that I was like vulnerable enough with myself and with the camera and the humans that were on the other side of that camera to be able to experience like such a sweet day. It's like, what a way to celebrate Black History Month. What a way to celebrate being trans. I am very grateful, and it's uncomfortable being human and being seen, and that's okay too.
The music at the beginning and end of this episode is from Kafari. Thank you to my guides and ancestors for supporting me in my storytelling. And thank you for listening to another episode of Signs of Breana.